Hello everybody and welcome to an add-on and UI video with Immersed. So today we're going to be looking at what add-ons I use, why I use them, and how they help me. So first, let's start with add-on control panel. What this add-on does is it adds a little tab here called add-ons. And all this really enables me to do is manage my add-ons in-game without having to log out and going to the bottom left of your character screen and managing them there. So that's all that one really does. So let's move on to one of my favorite ones called Action Bar Saver. So what this does, it will take your bar profile of any spec, save it, and then it will enable you to put that on your alt paladin, for example. So I'm on my prot pally right now in my prot spec, so if I do /abs action bar saver, brings up a list of commands within the add-on. So for example, if you saved one and you don't know where to find it, do /abs list. It will bring up a list of what classes you have saved an ABS profile to and what you named it. So for my paladin, my current bar set right now is saved as prot. So on my alt paladin, if I do /abs restore prot, it will be the exact way I have this on a completely different tune. So I think that's really cool, especially because I like similarities and I have OCD. So, for example, I want to point something out, because when I first got this add-on, I made sure I didn't do it when I didn't really have to. When I first got this add-on, I made sure I never named something the same. So, Paladin Prot, Warrior Prot. The add-on will actually pick up as to what class you're on and then load that specific prot, if you will. It's very, very useful. I love it. I use it all the time. I highly, highly, highly recommend this. So, next is Addy Bag, which is my bag add-on. So first, this is it, and what this basically does is it sorts everything into neat little categories. So this is a quest, trade goods, miscellaneous, weapon. I'm not quite sure what high DPS uses a fishing pole as a weapon, but anyway, it categorizes it as one. My set, which is this is my ret set right here, and within the add-on it recognizes that, and this is all my set gear. So if I'm in prot, I'm tanking a dungeon, something drops, I want to see if I have, you know, this, for example, the crown. I could say, okay, I don't have to spend 40 minutes looking through my bag. I could be like, oh, okay, yeah, I got it, pass. It's pretty simple. You can actually move it. There's a whole lot of options, and I'm going to show you. Also, something I want to point out, because it took me a little bit to figure out, if I want to know what bags I have, it's right here. Click to toggle the equipped bag panel so you can change them. Just click it, and here's all my bags. Also, once you do that, it sorts everything into what bag is what. So if you want to leave it like that, you prefer that more so, you can do that as well. I personally like this. I like the categorizing, sorting option. So to get into the options of that, go into interface, top right add-ons, Addy bags. Unlock anchor basically enables you to move it. So let me just move that for a minute. So if I do here, press B, it opens there. So one thing I want to point out is if I'm up here, the anchor turns to the top of the add-on. If I'm down here, bottom. If I'm over here, top right. If I'm down here, bottom right. I personally like it right... Actually, I'll move it due to that interrupt bar. Right there. And this is universal. I really like pointing out what add-ons are universal because I really don't like having to configure add-ons across my about 30 tunes right now. That's a little bit tedious, and yeah, it's really nice having universal add-ons. Alright, so let's pull this back up. Chug there a little bit, sorry about that. Alright, so configure, I have not really went in here at all. I like it the way it comes, but if you guys want to see, this right here basically says yes, I want Addy bags to be my backpack and my bank. If one is unchecked, you're going to go back to the default Blizzard one. I personally like both. Position, anchored, you can unlock the anchor, reset position, which is I believe down here. The scale, like the size of it, the maximum bag height, how high you want the bag, how many rows you want in your backpack and your bank. I really haven't touched this stuff, but I'll go through the options just so you guys can see it. Items quality highlight enabled, so what that basically means is I know this helmet is epic without having to mouse over it because of the purple background around it, purple framing, if you will. Alright, so let's get back into it. Configure, So basically, merge stackable items. I like knowing how many stacks I have. I'm pretty sure if you click this, you're gonna have like 1 stack of nether weave, even if you had like 4. Like I said, I really haven't touched this at all. But going down, filters, just showing you guys what you can do. You can pause the video at any point if you want. Plugins, again, I haven't touched this stuff at all. And yeah, I personally like it just the way it comes. Alright, next up is Auctionator. Now, I'm not a really big auction guy. Well, I wasn't up until I got this add-on. It really makes it simple for you to use the auction house. And it's just a great little add-on. So this is it right here. And as you can see, instead of browse bids and auctions, you now have buy, sell, and more. So if I go to buy, you can create shopping lists. So if I go to, so for example, recent searches, if I do earth, it will scan. Okay, here's all the earth. So if I go, I run a raid, blah blah blah, I come back. Oh, what did I search before that? Go to buy, right, I searched earth. Okay, so if I go to shop, okay, so let's get rid of that. If I go to shopping list 1, I can add an item. So if I do earth, and I'm like, okay, earth root, I need that on my level 19. But it's too expensive for me. 3 gold is too expensive for me. Don't mind my gold down. Anyway, so I'm like, well, I want to watch it just in case. So I click here, I go add item. So that's shopping list 1. And say I want bruiseweed as well. Okay, still too expensive, 9 gold, too expensive for me, add item. Alright. I got some gold, I come back, go to buy, and so basically what I really like about this add-on is instead of the tedious work of sitting there and searching 5 things over and over and over and over again, you can create a shopping list and go, okay, I want to know what they have. Search for all items. So I'm going to get that anyway. Okay, so it has earthroot, it has my bruiseweed. Okay, 9 gold is a little bit more expensive even though it didn't move at all. Sorry, less expensive, I can buy it now, click. You buy it. So one thing I also want to point out here is it says 3 stacks of 20. If I go to buy, 3 stacks available. If I click this, buy 1, I'm not going to because I don't need this right now. It'll go buy another, 2 stacks available. Buy another, 1 stack available, and it'll stop. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Remove item, recent searches, remove item. See guys, OCD, it's not very good to have. Okay, another really cool feature about this is if you have, for example, if you have, let's get something that has a whole lot of mats. Okay, a whole lot of mats. We'll do, alright, this doesn't have a whole lot of mats, but okay, we'll use this. I have my auction house open. This little button right here is an amazing little button. This is the best button I think I've ever seen in an add-on. Instead of going click, search, click, search, click, search, you click it once, it searches for the item and the mats involved with the item. So for example, it has no bone crusher available, no serenite bar available, it has the frozen orbs I need, 9 available, I can get that, and the Titan steel bar, it has 4 available again. Sorry, I think I said 4 frozen orbs. I meant 9 frozen orbs. So I can get that, and then 4 Titan steel bars. So just with this little button, I can search countless things. And one of the things I really found it useful on is an engineer, because engineers have a crap ton of mats. So say, okay, they don't have this yet. Save this shopping list. It'll save it. You go here, and that shopping list will be right here. Alright, so very neat add-on. So also, one thing I want to mention, if you are going, so basically I have it open to my sell. Anytime I go here, instead of going to browse, it automatically goes to sell. It's just for quicker posting. So if I want to sell this, okay, grilled dragon. Also, you see in the tooltip, it says vendor and auction. So basically one thing I want to point out here is if you hold Alt and Control, nothing changes. If you hold Shift, that's telling you how much 1 sells for. If you hold Shift, instead of 2 gold, auction times 17, 17 of these will sell for 41 gold. So if I'm going to sell these and I alt click it, it will be placed in there. It will automatically undercut my competition. So this is selling for 41 gold, 48 silver. This is what the add-on is telling me to sell it for. Let's see if it's right. Undercutting it, this is the lowest up there, 49 silver, 49 gold, 20 silver, 0 copper. That's a pretty good undercut. So all I have to do is create auction, walk away, forget about it until it appears up here in my mailbox. Alright, more. I currently have these auctions up right now. Now check for undercuts. This means I'm going to tell the add-on to check if all of these are actually the lowest. So let's see if they are. Nope. And okay, so obviously a few are. So 4 of your auctions are not the lowest priced. Would you like to cancel them? So this one and this one, I have multiple. The Adept, Hessenite, and the Rigid Zephyrite are not the lowest. I'm going to say leave them. People buy gems a lot. So basically, this also isn't. But they undercut it by 1 gold. So I'm not really going to worry about that. So another thing I can do is I can go here and I'm like, okay, well, what's the history of the item? So today, Saturday, you know, July 28th, July 25th, it tells me the history of what I posted, or when it scans it, it will save it also. So these are the average auctions. So if I go out again, I come here, and I go to up here, full scan, this will scan the auction house, and I used to use an add-on, and I remember scanning took about an hour, and I really didn't like that. So let's see how long this one takes. Okay, all of 2 seconds. Auction scan, 15,000. Items added that I don't already know. Items updated, 3,000 in, like, what, 2 seconds? So basically I can't scan again because I've already scanned. I gotta wait 15 minutes, and down here it tells you a little tooltip as to what it did. So that's basically it for this add-on. Nope, it's not. One thing I want to touch on, I go in here and I open it up, and you go into Auctionator. All of these are not clicked by default. This isn't clicked, this isn't on sale, and this isn't clicked. If you want to copy my options just to make it work the way you saw it, this is it. You can pause the video, write it down, or even remember, it's not too hard. All 3 of these are clicked, 48 hours sell. Very, very easy. And right here you can go to tooltips, you know, show vendor prices in tooltip, show auction house prices, show disenchant, undercutting, how much do you want to undercut by, selling, the behavior, your database, clears, meaning clear scanning history, clear posting history. I don't know why anyone would want to really do this. It's simple as is. Just, again, go into Auctionator, click these, leave it alone in my eyes, and shopping lists. Okay, so that's that. Now we're going to be moving on to Clique. Clique. I love this add-on. Alright, actually I'm not going to fly because I'm probably going to kill myself. Alright, Clique, I will show you, is right here. So your guild, under it is Clique. So this is it. It's very, very simple. While it's open, so for example, my left button is Hand of Protection. If I want, so basically as a tank, this is mainly a unit frame, sorry, not a unit frame, a nameplate, right here, this thing, nameplate, a nameplate add-on. So as a tank, I want to make sure I can hold aggro as much as I can, and I can help my party members or raid members. So one I use quite a lot is right here. This will be where my party is, and also right here. So basically so say hypothetically Committed, who is not me in this example, grabs aggro. I can right click on my mouse, and obviously it's not going to do anything, but as you can see my mouse had tried to do something. What it tried to do, let's find out, is Righteous Defense. So this will taunt off of that selected target. If they're dropping too quick, I can also left click for Hand of Protection. I use this for heals, I used to use it for CCs, I used to use it for my rotation, believe it or not, I use it for my tanks. It's a great little add-on, doesn't take up a lot of space, it's right here, it's very easy to set up. For example, if I want my Holy Radiance bound, I go over it, click 1, okay. Now my 1 right now, as you can see, there's nothing to attack. Now why that is if I mouse over myself and I hit 1, that's when it'll actually continue the command what we told it to do. So let's go back in. Also, I want to touch on something here. Enable disable binding sets. So what this means, excuse me, is how do you want it to react? On a friendly target, on an enemy, out of combat, primary talent spec, secondary talent spec, hover cast, and global binding. This, I can't show you right now. Actually, I will try to show you. So I'm hovering over the guard, and I'm going to hit 1. Now if I move my mouse slightly to the left, it's not going to work. So again, so that's hover cast. I don't need that on my prot spec. If I go holy eventually, I might, so I'll keep that in mind. Alright, let's move on to Easy Mail, my mail add-on. It's not very complicated, it's just something to make my life a little easier. So say these 3 things were mail, mark all, get attachments. That's it. That's the entire functionality of the add-on. And just let me double check. So there's options, add logged in character to recently mailed list. Recently mailed, for example, I'll show you really quickly, is if I go to here, I click this, these are all my recently mailed. It's very simple. Add friends, so if you have a friends list, that'll be there. Add guild members, use standard Blizzard address drop down, right click attachment retrieval, right click mail deletion, enable right click deletion of mail from the inbox. So for example, if we do that, we go in here, right click, delete mail. Alright, there you go, I found an option that's very useful. Let's keep looking. Display mail text in inbox tooltip, delete pending auction mails. You know, very self-explanatory stuff. Alright, next is called Gem Helper. So, way to open is /GH. You open up this. It looks pretty overwhelming, it's not really. So there's a few ways of doing this. You can filter by socket. So if you're looking for blue, so let's do that. If you're looking for a blue socket, all these blue gems appear down here. If you're looking for, if you want to filter by material, okay, I know the Queen's Garnet is part of the gem I want. Click it, and okay, 50 parry, there it is. That's what I want. And as you can see, going back to the auctioneer add-on, vendor sells for 9 gold, auction 917 gold. I kind of wish I had one right now to sell it. Okay, so we don't want that. I use this. Now I'm not 100% sure what this does, but I just have it clicked. I don't see a harm in it. So on my prop pally, I want strength. Okay, we have pure strength. Now what you can do is I want strength and dodge. Strength. And then what you can do is, look, there's dodge again. So it's not a necessity, it just makes your life a little bit easier. Also, if you want vendor gems, enchanting gems, instance gems, if you have the materials, if you're on a jewel crafter, you can use that. It's just, again, it's basically a gem browsing program. Down here, replace default JC UI. If I was a jewel crafter and I click this, I can go here and actually start crafting from here through here. Okay, I think that's about it. Moving on to interrupt bar, which is right here. Now, as a warrior, paladin, not a holy pally obviously, rogue, hunter, death knight, there's a few classes, what I'm trying to get at here is that don't necessarily need this bar here. However, I like having it because in Battlegrounds, I try my best to watch this and protect my healers, so I know if there's a ret paladin attacking my healer and his rebuke is down, I'm not going to stun him because he's not going to stop my healer's healing. Once it's off, then I'll stun him. You see, you can time it, and it's very, very helpful through that. That's about all it does. I want to mention on one thing. For example, his marksmanship hunter has silencing shot, and you may not see that here. Silencing shot, in my experience, falls under the pummel category. So this is more of a universal interrupt that isn't on this actual bar here. I can see that being upgraded in the future, and I can't wait for that. But for now, it's under this. So that's about all it is for that. LUI, I'm going to get back to, is basically my add-on, my unit frames add-on. It's going to take a little bit to go into that. NPC scan, I have for my hunter. So if I was hunting Skull, as you can see, my map is not a normal map. There's a lot of lines and a few blue dots here, green dot here, and a list bottom left. If I'm hunting Skull on my hunter, what I can do is say, okay, where does he spawn? He spawns here, 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 and here. Now once you go over it on your minimap, it will actually, it'll make a real ruckus. Like, you'll know you found him, and a little picture will pop up down here, and you click on it, and it puts a triangle on it, or whatever you pick, and you can therefore tame it or kill it, whatever you're looking for rares. So, moving on, that's about it for NPC scan. Quest-o-matic right here. It's a very simple add-on. It's basically, if I have a quest, I can just walk up, click, it accepts it for me, or walk up, click, turns it in for me. I like it. It just saves a whole lot of time. Also, right here is a list of active daily quests, dailies completed, total quests, new day starts in. It's very, very, very neat add-on. Reforge Tool Tip. So let's see. Okay, right here on the top, right under where it says Soulbound Chest, you're going to see Reforged, Dodge to Mastery. That's all it does, basically. As far as my knowledge, that's all it does. Reforged, Dodge to Mastery. It tells me on what piece of gear did I reforge what to. It's very useful when you're like, okay, well I have a little bit too much dodge. Okay, well right here I can take some out of dodge and put it into mastery. Excuse me, not mastery. I can put it into, I don't know, parry, because I already have mastery on this. Anyway, we all get the point. Reforginator. Okay, this is a really, 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 really useful add-on. This basically tells you for your class and your talent spec what to reforge and under what spec. So right now I'm in my prot spec, so it automatically says Paladin Protection. It also has Paladin Holy, Paladin Ret, but I'm prot. Consider reforging anything, or if you have custom reforging and you just want the reforged items that you personally did left alone, click leave reforged items alone. But I consider reforging anything, and I can reforge for raiding, heroics, or PvP. I do raiding. So yeah, that's about that add-on. There are situations, for example, on a Death Knight, on a Frost Death Knight, it'll ask you, do you want a two-handed Frost Death Knight, or do you want a dual-wielding Frost Death Knight? So right there you gotta make a little bit of a choice. Okay, so SCADA. Okay, so right here, on my LUI UI, no pun intended, I click right here, and this little window down here comes up. And this little window basically is SCADA, and it's a meter tracking add-on. So if I want total, so if I'm, actually, you know what, I'll give you an example. I try to give as much examples as I can during these kinds of videos, because I used to watch a lot of add-on videos, I still do, and people are like, oh, well, it just does this. And I'm like, well, I have it, but I can't figure this out. And yeah, I try to cover as much as I can. I don't know why I got on my War Tiger. I could have flown down here. It's a pretty sweet mount anyway. Alright, so if I start attacking this guy, and I want my current frame, I want to know how much damage I'm doing right now. I'm going to go to damage. Okay, so I did 15.9k. 1,982 DPS, but because it's on current fight, if I pull him, it resets. So let's kill him, let's get out of the water. And, okay, so say I want, okay, well, we just finished the raid. I want to know how much I did in total. Also right here is, it tells you the time. So in total, the damage I just did is 21,000 damage with 1,917 DPS. Now you kind of get the drift of this add-on. If you either want current or total, and then once you click one, you want buff, CC breaks, DPS damage, damage taken by spell, deaths, debuff uptimes dispels, enemy damage done, enemy damage taken, healing, or healing taken. I personally leave it on total, damage, and that's about it. There's a little horn you can report. So if I want to report to guild or anything like that, I just click that, report, whisper target. Sorry, click that again. Mode, you can also change the mode here if I want to see DPS instead of damage, But I like damage. Right here is segment, total or current, total, reset. If I wanted to just reset it, there it is. And that's about it. And configure, basically, you can have multiple windows. You can start a new fragment. You can toggle it to move it. Let's go into configure. So windows, if you want a new window, go to create, basically window, sorry, SCADA, window, create new window, type it in, bar display, can't really change that so you don't really have a choice, and then boom, you can move it. I have one that's not showing right now for threat, if I'm in a raid. It's just a very useful add-on, I really, really enjoy it. So I'll put that away for right now. Okay, X loop. You may not be able to, actually let me... Okay, so I... X loop. Okay, in my videos, if you see me loot and a list comes up right here, that's X loot. Also, the window, my loot window, is very different than the normal one. First off, it opens at my mouse pointer, which I know it does defaultly if you have that option clicked, but it's just a lot cleaner, a lot cooler. I really enjoy it. It's not, obviously not a necessity to have, but I have it just for fun, and it just looks a lot better and just feels a little bit cleaner to me. Now, okay, going back to LUI, the main difference you can see here is called LUI. Actually, it's called LUI Core if you want to download it through Curse. Let me just jump right into it. Actually, I'm going to switch tunes because I'm going to show you how to set it up. I'm going to show you what you can really do with it. And I'll switch tunes and I'll see you guys in a minute.